morning and welcome to Mosaic. I'm Ron Swisher, and it's always a joy to host Mosaic. The last 2 to 3 years, we've had the pleasure of having Kokomon and Aeeshah of Attitudinal Healing. Welcome back. Great to have you guys. Good.
Thank you so
great,
much.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Such a blessing.
Right. Now tell us, we've heard from Attitudinal Healing, like I say, a good 3 to 4 years now on this program. But I know there's some people who are new, are hearing it for the first time. Tell us, what is Attitudinal Healing, and when did you start? What inspired you to start this great program?
Well, you know, about over 30 years ago, I met Dr. Jerry Jampolsky, and he began the center, the work in Tiburon, California at the time, working with children who were life-threatened. And I began to volunteer and serve in that work. And Kokomon and I began this work about 20 years ago. And we defined, at that time, Jerry was working with children who were life-threatened. And so we founded the center. We defined poverty, racism, and violence as life-threatening diseases that impacts all of our lives. So we formed this work around that, and we opened up an Attitudinal Healing Center. And over the last 20 years, Attitudinal Healing is a movement that requires courage and innovations. So we've innovated and created a lot of different programs and the ground of the work is Attitudinal Healing.
And I want to add that the definition of attitudinal healing is a non-traditional mental health philosophy. And what truly struck me when I came in contact with the information is that it's self-inquiry. By that I mean that we are responsible for our thoughts. One is responsible for one's feelings and actions that we take. We cannot hold somebody as responsible for our actions. And that really, brought home to me.
That reminds me of what the scripture in Proverbs about, as a person thinks in their heart, so are they.
Yes.
So that's what I think I hear you're saying.
Exactly. And so there are 12 attitudinal healing principles. And the very first one states that the essence of our being is love. And the second one states that health is inner peace, and healing is letting go of fear. And actually, we earlier were talking about this issue of fear. That Hafiz, the Persian poet,
say that again. That was
stated
wonderful.
That fear is the cheapest room in the house. And so, attitudinal healing really helps us to move from that place of fear to that place of love. And this is out of these 12 principles. All our programs in Oakland came out of these 12 principles. Because
it's the cheapest room in the house, fear. A lot of people go there, right?
It's very easy to go to fear. You don't think about it. You immediately retreat into fear, and it takes courage
to get out,
and the ability to innovate in order to move out of fear. And that's why it's so difficult for us to bring changes. And today is Mother's Day, so it's really, really important that we as women really tap into our love essence, so that we can begin to move and become courageous for our children, because we are the ones to prepare the children for future generations, and for them to be able to be courageous, and for them to be able to innovate. And Attitudinal Healing is a movement and we're part of a whole global network of Attitudinal Healing Centers. The Attitudinal Healing International, which Jerry and Diane, and they're in Sausalito now, which they really oversee. They have centers all over the world. And so we connect with those centers. In fact, in July, we're going to be going to Guadalajara to really share the Attitudinal Healing innovations that we have around the self as superhero.
That's right. We're going to talk about that.
And we're also going to be sharing our leadership programs. And we're also going to be sharing the work that the Youth Leadership Now is doing. So a lot of the work that we'll be doing, we'll be sharing with other people so that they can see. But the most important thing is that we as individuals begin to really tap into our love essence, and that we really begin to see that the essence of our being is love, and that we can choose peace over conflict, and that we can become love finders rather than fault finders.
That's great. That's great. I thank you for sharing that, and we're going to come back in the next segment, and we'll be looking at the books, particularly Beyond Fear.
Yes.
I came across a copy again.
Yes.
So please join us in our attitudinal healing that's so important to our lives with Aeeshah and Kokomon. Welcome back to Mosaic. I was reading in my book collection the other day, and I came across a book called Beyond Fear. I received it back in 2002, and it's by Aeeshah and Kokomon. Tell us a little bit about that book.
The book actually was born out of a conference that was orchestrated by the late John Denver called Symposium in Aspen, Colorado. So we were invited, Aeeshah and I, to come to Aspen to do a presentation on our work about race and diversity and all the challenges that we face. And the publishers asked us to write this book. And so the book